Hi there, welcome to Kneppy Invests. I have a mission to get a haircut and to create a video on every single small cap company on the ASX that releases an Appendix 4C or a quarterly cash flow report for the June quarter that is operational cash flow positive. I am on leave in a week for about a month and a half, so I have plenty of time to accomplish this mission. And hopefully, if we get into August and I have fulfilled this mission or getting close to fulfilling this mission, maybe I can then focus on the yearly and half-yearly reports that are released during the August month. Thus far, I've already done 3 videos on XREF, Phoenix, and V8VI. So if you do like any of those 3 companies, make sure you look out for those videos. I have another 2 videos after this video today, and those videos will be focusing on Drone Shield and Spectre. So if you do like Drone Shield or Spectre, have a look out for that video in the coming 3 or 4 days. In this video, I'll be focusing on SelfWealth. This is an equity trading platform. In fact, maybe saying equity trading for much longer will not be valid because they are thinking, or maybe not thinking, but they are getting into crypto trading as well as equities. This is the trading platform I use, and I have shifted from CommSec to SelfWealth simply because of the fee structure of SelfWealth is only $9.95 per trade. I do get 15 free trades per year as well because I have gone premium with SelfWealth. So CommSec being a little bit stubborn, maintaining their fee structure because they do have competitive advantage over a lot of these smaller trading platforms, but I think over time CommSec market share will fall if they maintain their fee structure, and SelfWealth, Superhero, all these other trading platforms will rise, and eventually one company will come out with a zero free trading structure, and if any company does do that, I will automatically go to that platform. SelfWealth is typically one of the first companies to release their Appendix 4C for the quarter. That's true also this quarter. On the 12th of July, they released their Appendix 4C. I have already done a few videos on SelfWealth focusing on their previous Appendix 4Cs. And when I did the previous one in April, the market cap of SelfWealth was 119 million. Currently, the market cap of SelfWealth is 86 million. So you can just see by the valuation of the company's share price has been falling. Ticker code for SelfWealth is SWF. Revenue trailing 12 months, so this goes to the end of December 2020, 13.7 million, and they were operational cash flow positive for the trailing 12 months of 1.2 million. If you do want further information on this company, have a look at their Appendix 4C that was released on the 12th of July. You'll get a lot more information in regards to customers, traders, the amount of trades that have been completed in the past quarter, and compared that to the previous year, previous corresponding period, and the previous quarter. In fact, let's have a look at those numbers right now. There are some interesting numbers here. When you look at the year-on-year growth rates and quarter-on growth rates in regards to revenue, active traders, and quarterly trades over the past year and over the past quarter. Looking at the operating revenue, growing 22% year on year, but it has gone backwards quarter on quarter from 5.78 million to 5.1 million. Active traders continues to rise. It's increased 10,000 from the previous quarter and has doubled 105% from this time last year. However, the main reason operating revenue has gone backwards, even though traders or active traders has risen, is because quarterly trading has plunged in the past quarter. In fact, it's gone from 514,000 to 358,000, almost identical to this time last year, even though we had half as less of active traders. So the whole reason behind that is this time last year, a lot of volatility in the market, and when there's more volatility, you see a lot of traders or a lot of investors will trade a little bit more. So in a way, SelfWealth does benefit from when the market is really volatile, or when you do see a significant correction in the market and then another significant rise like we saw in the COVID-19 financial panic. Client cash is also increasing by quite a bit as well, 43% on this time last year and about $70 million from this time last quarter. Before we look at the June quarter for SelfWealth, just going to go back in time to the previous quarter and see how they performed in March and then compare that to the June quarter. Receipts from customers in the March quarter for SelfWealth, 5.8 million, and SelfWealth was operating cash flow positive by $558,000 for the March quarter, and they increased cash by $100,000 and finished the March quarter at $7.4 million. So how does this compare to the June quarter? I think we already know that the receipts from customers has come down a little bit, but are they still operating cash flow positive? Receipts from customers have gone down from $5.8 million in the March quarter to $5.1 million in this quarter, or the June quarter. And even though it has come down by $600,000, SelfWealth is still operating cash flow positive by a small amount, however, only $140,000. Not a lot of activity when it comes to financing and investing activities, so very little there. So in the end, SelfWealth did grow the cash by $100,000 and finish a quarter with $7.5 million of cash. I always like to look at receipts history trends. I want to see an upwards trend when it comes to receipts through time. We definitely have that with SelfWealth. You can't take one little dip in receipts and figure that as a new trend. That's what we've seen in this quarter. Receipts has gone backwards, but when you see the overall trend is upwards, and you can see the growth from the December quarter to the March quarter went from 4.5 million to 5.8 million. So we've gone back to really the long-term trend to 5.1 million. Compound quarterly growth rates since the March quarter of 2017, 33% per quarter. That's pretty good growth rates, but that was on a very low base, only $40,000 in that March quarter in 2017. If we take a shorter time frame, go back to the December 2019 quarter, SelfWealth is still growing receipts at 27% per quarter. In that December quarter, they had $1.2 million, so not quite as low of a base there. This is exactly what you want to see in a company that you might or are thinking of investing in, a growth in their receipts over time. Onto the daily chart for SelfWealth. This chart goes back to just prior to the COVID-19 financial panic, or the lows of that panic anyway, when the share price of SelfWealth was as low as 10 cents. What an awesome time to buy this company. And if you bought at those lows, you would have been a very happy shareholder if you held strong for the next 5 or 6 months, because the share price went from 10 cents at that low to 80 cents in September, or around the beginning of September, which is the share price high for this company. That share price high of 80 cents was then again reached when the company released their half-year report on February 19. A really interesting trading day, that, because the share price opened up at open. So initially the market liked it, and sometimes you will see the market rise on open. That sometimes indicates retail investors like the report. But when you see a lot of selling coming into the market during the day, like we saw with SelfWealth, that is showing that the institutional investors don't like the report. And in fact, instead of rising for the day, the share price fell 11%, and the share price has been under pressure ever since then. A nice looking downtrend. There was a bit of support around 50 cents. We saw the share price reach 50 cents in November, then again in January. Both times it rebounded off that support level. We saw that support level reached again in May. Looks like there was a very small bounce. Then it tested it again in June and then fell through that support. So that support became resistance. And sometimes when support becomes resistance, or vice versa, resistance becomes support, you will see the share price test that. And that's exactly what we saw with SelfWealth. The share price tested it. You can just see that about a week after it fell through 50 cents, it tested it and has fallen away since then. And when SelfWealth released their Appendix 4C for the June quarter on July 12th, the share price fell 12%. So the market didn't like it. And right now, because the share price is in a nice downtrend, I'll probably just remain patient. Just wait to see a bit of consolidation in the share price and just to see or wait for this downtrend to come to a completion. At the time I'm doing this video, it's about midday on the 15th of July. SelfWealth's shares are in a trading halt because of a capital raising the company is doing. Even though they have $7.5 million of cash, they've decided they need a little bit more cash for growth reasons. If I remember correctly, the capital raising is being done at 39 cents. That doesn't mean that is the floor. Sometimes that will be the floor of a share price. The share price could fall below that if the market is not convinced the growth of this company can continue. There are some concerns out there. The main concern I have is in regards to zero fee structures eventually coming into the Australian market. I think eventually it will happen. I'm not sure how long it's going to take. It's already happening in the United States. So whenever that sort of thing happens somewhere in the world, other countries will eventually follow. It could be a few years. It could be next month. And I think that's the main reason I am staying just a little bit clear of SelfWealth at this point in time. So if you do have any questions about this company or any other company on the ASX, make sure you leave a comment in the comment section. I'll answer anything you have to say. Otherwise, I'm not a financial advisor. So if you do need financial advice, make sure you seek out someone who is qualified and can speak to your own financial needs. That's it for this video. Have a good day. Bye.